It started on a rainy Tuesday in a half-forgotten corner of Chicago, where the scent of burnt coffee drifted lazily through the small, family-run diner called Maggie's Place. Daniel Harper, a single dad of 5 years, was wiping down the counter for the 4th time that evening, not because it needed it, but because the repetitive motion gave him a moment of peace. He wore a fraying apron, his hands still calloused from construction jobs he could no longer work after an injury sidelined him. Now he juggled odd jobs, raising his daughter Lily, and picking up extra shifts at the diner, anything to make the next rent. Outside, the rain drummed a rhythm against the windows, and inside, the warm light cast soft shadows on the regulars. That's when she walked in, soaked to the bone, yet radiating a presence that made every head turn. Amelia Rhodes was not someone you would find in a place like Maggie's. Known in elite circles as the Queen of Venture Capital, she was worth more than the combined revenue of every business within 10 blocks. But tonight, none of that mattered. She wasn't a billionaire. She was just a woman on a terrible, awkward date. The man she'd come with, Greg, was the type who ordered without asking, scrolled through his phone, and dropped investment jargon like confetti. When she excused herself to the restroom, she didn't go there. She went to the counter, and straight to Daniel. "Excuse me," she whispered, cheeks flushed. "Can you help me escape this?" Daniel blinked. "Escape what, ma'am?" She flicked her head toward the booth. "The disaster sitting in that corner. I just need a laugh, a reason to walk away. The smile that changed everything." Daniel studied her for a moment. She looked tired. Not physically, but soul-deep. As if life had given her too much of everything, except kindness. He didn't know who she was. He didn't care. He just saw someone who needed saving. "Well," he said, leaning in conspiratorially, "we do have a highly classified bad date extraction protocol." Her brow lifted, amused. "Is that so?" "Absolutely. Comes with pancakes, sarcasm, and a dramatic exit. Shall I initiate it?" Her laugh, genuine and melodic, broke through the dull buzz of the diner. Daniel's daughter, Lily, peeked from behind the kitchen door and smiled too. Amelia looked at the little girl, then back at Daniel. "Let's do it." With a loud clearing of his throat and an exaggerated voice, Daniel marched over to Greg's booth. "Sir, I'm terribly sorry to interrupt your extremely boring monologue about crypto mining, but your date has just won a secret smile lottery and must come with me for her prize. House rules." Greg sputtered something about lawsuits and Yelp reviews, but Amelia was already standing, smiling like a schoolgirl ditching detention. A rainy walk and a shared truth. An hour later, the two were walking beneath one shared umbrella. She'd insisted on taking him and Lily out for hot chocolate across the street, anything to keep the moment alive. "Why did you help me?" she asked, holding the warm cup in both hands. "Because I've had bad days," Daniel said softly. "And sometimes all it takes is someone noticing." Amelia looked at him. Really looked. He wasn't rich. He wasn't polished. But he was something rarer, kind. And when Lily told her, unprompted, that her daddy was the funniest man in the world, Amelia believed it. Unexpected connections. Over the next few weeks, Amelia kept coming back. Sometimes for coffee. Sometimes for Daniel. Sometimes just to sit with Lily and draw dinosaurs on napkins. She never told him who she was. Partly because it felt nice not being seen as a billionaire, but mostly because she feared it would change the way he saw her. For the first time in years, Amelia laughed without agenda. Daniel treated her the same way he treated everyone, with respect, curiosity, and a bit of dry humor. And she adored it. They talked about everything. Music. Parenting. Regret. The time Daniel built a dollhouse from leftover construction wood because Lily couldn't afford the one in the store. The time Amelia bought her mom a plane ticket back to her hometown just to relive one good memory. One day, Daniel told her his dream. I always wanted to open a real place. Not fancy. Just warm. A community spot with good food and a little stage for stories, music, whatever. Call it Lily's Light. Amelia smiled but said nothing. She tucked that name away like a secret treasure. The turn, a storm and a secret. Then, one evening, everything changed. The diner was nearly empty when Amelia walked in, visibly shaken. She looked pale, her fingers trembling slightly. Daniel moved from behind the counter and took her hand without asking. What happened? I had a bad board meeting, she said. People I trusted turned on me. They think I'm weak for wanting to do good things. They said kindness isn't profitable. He didn't ask for details. He just brought her tea and sat beside her as Lily played nearby. Kindness is the only real currency, Daniel whispered. That night, for the first time, Amelia cried in front of someone. But Daniel wasn't shaken. He didn't flinch. He let her fall apart and reminded her gently, with every word, that falling wasn't failure. When she finally left, she kissed his cheek, whispered thank you, and disappeared. The fallout, when truth comes out. 3 days. No call. No text. No Amelia. Then the news broke. Daniel was cleaning the diner when his coworker turned up the small TV by the register. There she was, Amelia Rhodes. CEO. Billionaire. Investor. America's most influential woman. The story wasn't about her success, though. It was about her resignation. She'd stepped down from her company. No one knew why. Daniel sat in stunned silence. Lily peeked at the screen and said, "Hey, Daddy, that's Amelia." The pieces clicked in his mind like 1,000 dominoes. She had never lied. But she hadn't told the truth either. He didn't hear from her for a week. Then came a letter. No envelope. Just a folded paper delivered by hand. Dear Daniel. I'm sorry for not telling you. I just wanted to be known for my heart, not my title. And I found more truth in your little diner than I ever did in a boardroom. You showed me something I had forgotten, the beauty of ordinary moments. You reminded me how it feels to be seen, not evaluated. You made me laugh when I wanted to disappear. You were my rescue that night. And every moment since. I've done something. It might be too much. Or not enough. But it's from my heart. There's a key taped to the back of this note. I hope you'll use it. Confused, Daniel turned the page and found the key. Attached was an address. The climax, Lily's Light. Daniel arrived at the location the next day, Lily clutching his hand. It was a small corner building near a park, brand new, yet familiar. A hand-painted sign read, Lily's Light. Inside, sunlight poured through large windows onto polished wood floors, a coffee bar, rows of cozy booths, and a little stage. At the back, an office with 2 desks, one for him, and one, he realized, for her. Amelia stood by the stage, wearing jeans and a sweater, nothing like the woman on magazine covers. She smiled when she saw them. This is yours, she said. Ours. I don't want to run from who I am. But I want to choose who I run with. Lily ran to her and hugged her legs. Daniel stood still, overcome. I thought you left, he whispered. I was scared, she admitted. But then I remembered something. Kindness is the only real currency. He walked to her, took her hand, and held it to his heart. You make me feel like a rich man, he said. She smiled. You always were. The message, more than riches. Lily's Light became a sanctuary in the city. A place where stories mattered more than status. Where the rich sat beside the poor. Where laughter echoed louder than ambition. Where a billionaire learned to make pancakes, and a single dad found home again. They didn't have a fairy tale. They had something better. They had each other. And that was more than enough.